good morning to all of you assembled here. All these young women in front of me, all the women serving as role models and inspiration, and everyone here present supporting this event. Welcome to the Capacity Building and Personality Development Program presented by the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, St. Paul's College and sponsored by the National Commission for Women, Government of India. Let us start this auspicious day with a prayer. I invite Mr. Melvin, Assistant Professor, and his team to lead us in prayer. We mark the spread of wisdom and joy by spreading light. I invite the dignitaries to kindly partake in the lamp lighting ceremony. I invite Reverend Father Dr. Shaiju, Vice Principal, St. Paul's College, to address the gathering, to welcome the gathering formally.
Good morning. Good morning. Dear Father Thomas, Principal, St. Paul's College, esteemed resource persons of the day, Monica Samuel, Naveen Manjunath, Manasi KG, then in charge, Todi Journalism and Communication Department, Prashant Venugopal, Program Head of today's event, faculty members, and my dear students gathered here. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this one-day program on capacity building and personality development. As human beings, we are all endowed with human agency. Agency means our capacity, our ability to make choices, our ability to influence our functioning, and our ability to act in various situations of our lived life. Agency also involves our ability to plan goals for our life and our capacity to achieve them in our life. The human agency is also intertwined by the various structures in which we live and choose and act. And there are various types of structures in which we live, in that are intersecting categories of various identities in which gender plays an important role, influence our human agency. Therefore, it's highly important and meaningful that we have this one-day program for you all. A day to reflect on our life, a day to reflect on our capacities, a day to learn, teach, improve our skills, develop our knowledge, so that we can better make choices and act in this world. Although our democracy promises equality and inclusiveness, we are far from that. We still live in an unequal democracy, and we are striving for an inclusive democracy. Therefore, programs like this, programs of capacity building, programs of personality development would help us self-reflect so that we help ourselves to act both personally and collectively to change those structures, those unequal practices, and
படம்
this day
வாரு ரெடி ஆயிடுச்சு எவ்வளவு நேரம் கத்துறது ஒன்று வாங்கிட்டு போயா
ஒரு கதை சொல்லிட்டேன் சார்.
என் லைஃப் ரொம்ப சிம்பிள். வீக் டேஸ் ஃபுல்லாக வேலை, வீக்கெண்ட்னா ஏதோ ஒரு சினிமா, டிவி, நெட்ஃப்ளிக்ஸ்னு ஒரு சாதாரண
நான் பீர்
நீ போய் வாங்கிட்டு வரலாம்ல
பண்ண மாதிரி ஆளுங்களுக்குலாம் ஒரே கதை தானே. நான் கீழே இருந்தேன், இது செஞ்சு அது செஞ்சு பெரிய ஆள் ஆயிட்டேன்.
இவன் தான் என் தாத்தாக்கும் ஒரே
தெரிஞ்சு உடச்சு முடிச்சு ஆரம்பிச்ச இடத்த தேடி வந்து நிற்குண்டா.
we welcome Manasi KG with their sapling. We welcome Naveen Manjunath with their sapling. We welcome Father Thomas with the sapling. And we welcome Denindraj or Chodi with the sapling. We now welcome Prashant Venugopal with a staff. Once again, a warm welcome to each one of you, and I wish you all the best for today's program.
We welcome you, Father Shaiju, to the event as well. I request Savitri ma'am to hand over the sacrament to Shaiju. Women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice and they need to feel empowered to use it. And people need to be encouraged to listen. The National Commission for Women was formed with an intention to establish an equal and just livelihood for women by making legal and constitutional amendments for women in India. The violence against women is a fundamental violation of human rights across nations, societies, cultures, and classes. And to stop this violation of the fundamental right, this commission was formed. Problems faced by women in the country has been one of the biggest concerns of the government and other authorities. Over the years, many commissions have been set up by government to look into the welfare of the women in the country. According to the reports of these commissions, all of them state the necessity for setting an apex body for reviewing and addressing the grievances of the women in the country. And today, we know how much educating and empowering women makes a difference in the country. And these people we have as resource persons today are making the difference in such a way. I invite, before we move on to the resource persons and the sessions of the day, I invite all the dignitaries on stage for the release of a book that is published by St. Paul's publication. The book is called Empowering Mindset, Unlocking Your Full Potential to Achieve Your Dreams with the Empowering Mindset. It's published by St. Paul's College, authored by our principal, Dr. Father Thomas M.J., Professor Janan Raj, and Dr. Prashant. I'm happy and very excited to announce the release of the book today, and the book is also designed by our very own Mr. Ricky James. It has an ISBN number as well. I invite all the dignitaries to officially release the book on stage. E-copies of the book will be distributed to all those registered participants today. I now invite our principal, Reverend Father Dr. Thomas M.J., for the inaugural address.
First of all, congratulations to the entire team that has worked behind bringing this book on this very important day. The empowering mindset, unlock your full potential and achieve your dreams with the empowering mindset. Very special congratulations to Dr. Prashant, who has worked very hard behind bringing this book out for us today. Can we put our hands together for him and for the entire team? I'm not taking everybody's name, but headed by him. Distinguished guests on the dais, Ms. Monica Samuel, Mr. Naveen Manjunath, Ms. Manasi KG, Father Dr. Shaili Joseph, Vice Principal, Mr. Jenny Raj, and Dr. Prashant, HODs in charges, faculty members, and my dear students. Good morning, everybody. Is it like you are only going to be empowered from now on, or you are already empowered? It doesn't look like you are empowered to say a very warm good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, better. This side is better. That side? Once again, a very warm welcome to all of you to the inauguration of the National Seminar on Capacity Building and Personality Development for Women, organized by PG Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, St. Paul's College, in association with the National Commission for Women. The National Commission for Women, as you would know, or as you already heard, is a statutory body under the National Commission for Women Act 1990, constituted with the objective of reviewing the constitutional and legal safeguards for women, to recommend remedial legislative measures, facilitate redressal of grievances, and advise the government on all policy matters affecting women. In keeping with its mandate, the Commission has been initiating various steps to improve the status of women and work for their economic empowerment. The Commission conducts workshops and seminars on gender awareness, constitutes expert committees on economic empowerment of women, and takes up publicity campaigns against female feticide, violence against women, etc., in order to generate awareness in society against various social evils. And we consider, at St. Paul's College, this our joy and privilege to organize a seminar of this sort for the second time in a row in association with the National Commission for Women. We are grateful to Ms. Rekha Sharma, the chairperson of National Commission for Women India, and the entire team of NCW for this continued collaboration. Today is an important day because we are going to spend a day discussing on a pressing concern that our society has been struggling with for centuries, that is ensuring equality of genders in the society. This capacity building program, organized to improve the skills of women and young girls, is one such attempt by St. Paul's College, besides other programs that we keep organizing to empower women and to provide opportunities for women to excel both in life and profession. Ensuring gender equality is an ongoing process that requires concerted efforts from individuals, organizations, and governments at all levels. Education is one of the most powerful tools for promoting gender equality. Ensuring that both girls and boys have access to quality education is essential for building a society that values gender equality and empowering women to become leaders in their communities. One of the noteworthy things that we are proud of our institution in the context of this national seminar is that we have more girls than boys pursuing both the graduate and postgraduate studies at St. Paul's College. This, I am sure, is a welcome change, and this is going to bring about positive changes in the life of women in the society. And once this important aspect is taken care of, a lot of other positive changes will follow, and we should be gradually and steadily marching towards a just and equal society where different genders and people of different walks of life could enjoy a decent, respectful life in the society. We all know that women play a vital role in the development and progress of our country, but despite significant strides made in the recent years, women still face numerous challenges, including gender inequality, discrimination, and lack of opportunities for personal and professional growth. This seminar is an effort to address these challenges and empower women to reach their full potential. The seminar will focus on three important areas, namely personality development, interview preparation, and digital literacy for women, as they are all critical areas that can contribute towards the overall empowerment of growth of women. Personality development is an essential aspect of capacity building, and by understanding your strengths and your weaknesses, you can develop the skills they need to excel in your personal and professional lives. Interview preparation is another crucial area of focus for women who are seeking to enter the workforce. Interviews can be daunting, particularly for those who lack experience or are unfamiliar with the process. Digital literacy is an area that is gaining increasing importance in our rapidly evolving technological landscape. Women who lack digital skills are at a disadvantage in today's digital world. I am certain that this seminar will be an excellent opportunity for all the participants to gain valuable insights, share experiences, and learn from one another to develop your personalities and become leaders in your communities, to succeed in interviews and secure the job opportunities you deserve, to enhance your digital literacy skills, as this is going to focus on learning and applying the use of intuitive, logical and critical thinking, communication and interpersonal skills, all enhancing growth and employability. And to make it happen, we are blessed and privileged to have with us some eminent people, Ms. Monica Samuel, Mr. Naveen Manjunath, Ms. Manasi KG, and our own Dr. Prashant Venugopal as a resource person for the day, and I am sure that their vast experience, inputs and insights will benefit everyone participating in today's program. And I hope that the presentations and discussions that will take place during the day will lead to actionable outcomes that will empower you and other women to achieve your goals and our goals and contribute to the development of our nation. I feel privileged and excited to inaugurate this National Seminar on Capacity Building and Personality Development Program in association with the National Commission for Women. Best wishes and all success to everyone, and have a fruitful and enlightening seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for first of all enlivening the students a bit, and also for shedding light on some of the issues that has to be addressed, and for giving us a very warm introduction into the day. Thank you again, Father. We come to the conclusion of our inaugural session. I thank all the dignitaries on stage, the resource persons for the day, the college management, the administrator, the teachers, the ministerial staff, the student volunteers, the student council, student representatives, the media team and the audience, both from St. Paul's and from outside. Thank you all so much for the inaugural session. Now let's move on to the resource persons for the day. I request all the dignitaries on stage to kindly make their way to the audience. Few instructions for students. This is going to be interactive. This is going to require participation. And at the end of the day, you'll all be filling out tests and feedback forms and surveys. So we need all of your attention here. Don't zone out. Okay? Our first session of the day will be personal capacity building, and the resource person is Ms. Monica Samuel. Ms. Monica is a co-founder of Ocean Life, a holistic wellness company that supports people in natural healing by changing food, movement, rest, and mental habits. Monica works with clients on emotional, mental, and spiritual wellness and takes care of the organization's technology and marketing needs. He also works as a freelance digital marketing consultant and trainer for NGOs under the brand name Content Knockout, which she founded in 2016. After working with businesses for over a decade, she is now focused solely on the social sector. She is an active volunteer. She is passionate about women's empowerment, youth empowerment, diversity, inclusion, animal welfare, environment protection, waste management, and amplifying the good in the world by paying blessings forward. We welcome you, Monica ma'am, to your session today.
Hello everyone. Good morning. Okay, take a deep breath in. Now out. Now say good morning. Good morning. Wonderful. So, I want to tell you a little bit about what was not covered in the introduction. I was basking under the glory of being called an eminent person. But if you really see, there is not much difference between you and me, except age. When we talk about, I have had 3 careers till now. I was an IT engineer, then I moved marketing, then now I'm an inner work coach. My parents have stopped introducing me to people because they cannot really tell what profession I am in currently. So my mom still calls me an IT engineer, which was my first profession. So with all these changes that happen, there has also been a great amount of self-doubt. There has been worry about the direction I have been taking. There has been fear of failure. All the things that most of us are very familiar with. And these are the things that make us all human and connected. So, to feel all these things, identifying, as we say, our strengths and our weaknesses, this is all part of our journey of life. And the personal capacity building that I will be taking now is not just something that you can learn very quickly in just this session, but it's a work of a lifetime. I am still in the work myself. I want to ask a few questions, and my lanyard just broke. Imagine. So with a show of hands, I would like you to respond to these, okay? Do you believe you are a good listener? Yes or no? Raise your hand if you think you are a Some people are. Commit to it. You are. Okay, great. Are you self-critical? Wonderful. Very few people are self-critical. Do you believe that your behavior is dependent on how others behave with you? Thoughts? Okay. better communication skills would improve your life? Yeah. Do you have stress? Do you have a wish to manage your stress better? Do you believe happiness at work is more important than earning money? Okay. I'm going to now ask you to do one exercise. The response to this question is not prepared, prepared, super prepared. So if you are with not prepared, remain sitting. If you are prepared, stand up. And if you are super prepared, you stand up and raise your arms. Okay? The question is, how prepared do you feel for work life? How prepared are you for work life? Wonderful. Okay. First, I would like to really appreciate your honesty and your connection with yourself in responding to these questions. Thank you for that. And who is excited about a presentation, first session in the morning? Who loves presentations? Okay. So, one person raised their hand, and just for them, we are going to have a presentation. So let's start. Can I hold this my mobile and is this okay? You can hear me? Alright. So when we talk about personal capacity building, what do we really mean? What is personal capacity? So I would like to move the presentation forward. Okay. Please move it. Next slide. Okay. In my understanding, capacity building, our personal capacity building, is about connecting with our own feelings and needs. What does that mean? We do many things under a sense of compulsion. Do you have moments where you don't know why you're angry? You don't know why you're sad. You don't know why you behaved a certain way. You're puzzled by your own behavior. You're crying and you don't know why. Have you experienced such moments without really having a clear understanding of the motivation behind that behavior, right? So, what I have experienced myself and seen in many people that I have worked with and also served is that it is very important to have a clear understanding of our own feelings and needs when we look at the habits we have acquired. For example, if you are angry, can you clearly identify the feeling and the need behind it? According to Marshall Rosenberg, who is the founder of the Center for Nonviolent Communication, people respond to various things in life according to whether their needs have been met or not met. Okay? Give you an example. You could be feeling hurt because you were not heard by someone. You wanted to share something, the other person was too busy, or they already felt that they know why you're upset, and they did not give you an opportunity to explain yourself, and that was hurtful for you. So you lashed out in anger, but the real reason you behaved that way was because your need for understanding and attention was not met. You understand? So the more you are able to develop clarity about your feelings and your needs, when you're happy, certain needs are met. When you're unhappy, certain needs are not met. The more you develop clarity on this, the stronger your connection will be to yourself. And if this isn't, that was, yeah, this.
ஏ பழம் வாடு ரெடி ஆயிடுச்சு எவ்வளவு நேரம் கத்துறது வந்து வாங்கிட்டு போயா
Okay. Alright. So where was I? Your connection with yourself. Tell me with a show of hands again, by just understanding what I said right now about being able to identify your feelings and needs. Do you believe that you are connected to yourself? Okay, great. The good news is that if you don't think you are connected to yourself, the tools are available. If you just go to the Center for Nonviolent Communication on Google, there is a free 30-day course to learn this skill. I learned this skill very late in life, and what I found was that if I had learned it long time back, could have made life a lot smoother. This is a very important skill to have, and the consequence of having this skill is the strong connection to self, which will always keep you grounded no matter what happens in life. The second thing is collaborating with other people to meet your needs and theirs in a way that serves life. I have seen a lot of people appreciating their moms, saying that she's a wonderful person, she sacrificed everything and she kept the family together. There were very difficult people in our family and she kept it all together. But tell me, were though that woman's needs met in this arrangement? What happened to her needs. So when I say collaborative manner, where your needs and the needs of others are met, what we mean is an arrangement in which everybody's needs are given equal importance. It's not about making the situation comfortable for a certain set of people. It's about coming up with a solution that works for everyone in a way that serves life. What do I mean when I say serves life? That it helps in the growth of your community, your family, society, your country, and the world. Taking decisions in a way that you do not create any destructive path. Okay? You will actually find yourself, and here I would like to specifically talk about the challenges faced by women. Many times women are called to take decisions both in their families as well in their workspace to make it comfortable for the gender that is in majority. There are many stories of women who have pioneered into certain professions where even a bathroom for ladies was not available. They had to fight for it. People in the medical profession, women who started their studies, they faced a lot of difficulties. They were ostracized from society. We have a lot to be grateful for all these women who created these pathways for us. But even in today's time, there are barriers. And many times, women are asked to adjust. At this time, you have to connect to yourself, to your feelings and needs, and really understand whether you are willing to make the choice to adjust or to demand your right. Think about that. Personal capacity building is also about contributing to an environment that serves others and all beings. They say when you educate a man, he prospers. When you educate a woman, the community prospers. There is a very innate nurturing side to womanhood that I am very proud of, and I hope that you are all also very proud of. That invites us to share whatever good we learn. If we learn something that is benefiting us personally, we are happy to also share it with more people. I'm not saying that men are not like that, there are, but in the majority of cases, when you educate women, there has always been an improvement in society. To think, act, learn, and move forward. Your capacity to take an action based on need. Now, there is a difference between actions taken based on desires and actions based on needs. There is a discernment between these two things. You may just need shelter. You desire a bungalow, right? That is the difference. So, to have the ability to take action as needed is a very important part of personal capacity building. What is the result of the action? It may work, it may not work. If it works, great. If it does not work, to take it as a lesson and continue moving forward instead of going into a self-critical spin of why I could not do better, what went wrong. All that is great for analysis, but to turn any kind of aggression towards yourself is a very unhelpful thing to do, very unproductive, and extremely damaging in the long run. To enjoy a good night's sleep without help. What does that mean? To be able to sleep with satisfaction that whatever you did in the day was productive, it served your needs. You don't need to be on a mobile phone before you go to sleep. You don't need a smoke, a drink, or eat a heavy dessert to go to sleep. These are all actually just ways of sedating our senses. If you are able to live a life where you can go to sleep every night happy, in gratitude, without needing any help, that's a good job done. To me, that comes out what personal capacity building is about. Okay. Can I take question or should I wait again? Are there any questions? Okay, we'll move forward. Now, I was given a certain curriculum for this topic, so we'll get into it a little bit. Can you move to the next? So, what are the skills that can help in capacity building? Some of the things that I have already shared, and a few other things in particular are listening, brainstorming, time management, stress management, communication, and group discussion. To me, the mother of all skills here is listening. I'll tell you why I say that. Move to the next. You can just move the whole slide. Okay. All right. Thank you. What stops us from listening? And if you are able to master this skill, you will find that all the other things that we speak about will just fall into place. The first thing, before we talk about what listening is to look at the things that we do very commonly that stop us from listening. The first is, oh, I'm near this one. The first is sympathizing. Oh, poor you, what happened? How could they do this to you? So we think that we are doing a very good thing by sympathizing with the other person. But it's not really helpful when the person is sharing their experience. We can do this at a later stage after they have done sharing. But at that moment, when you want to offer somebody listening, you have to maintain a neutral space. You can show your interest, your attention, your compassion for the other using verbal language, non-verbal expression as well, but you maintain a neutral position. Sympathizing is not helpful. Feeling sorry for another person is not helpful. Second is advising. The cheapest thing any human can do is advice. Tell people what they should do, because I was not able to do it myself, so it's easy for me to tell you. Advising. Don't tell people what to do, which is what I'm doing right now, advising. Interrupting. Interrupting with questions, what does that do? Somebody is sharing and you interrupt. It breaks the flow of their experience, the sharing that they're doing, and they will then start looking at other aspects to answer your question. As a result of this, they are unable to completely let out what they are sharing. So that's a real injustice to the person who is opening up to you. So no interruptions, judging. We all have conditioning, we all have biases, we all have beliefs. And when you are listening to somebody, if you are already judging them, why is he crying? He has such a good life. What's he talking about? Or somebody in your family is sharing their pain and you say, what, you're sitting in the house the whole day. What is the big deal? So what has happened? You are judging them. You are not even listening to what they are sharing with you. who are not really present to them. Trivializing, making somebody feel that what they are experiencing is insignificant. This is very detrimental to the self-esteem of the other person. Comparing, yeah, this has also happened to my brother-in-law. He did this, then this happened. Again, attention goes to your story. Attention is no longer with the speaker. Self-soothing, this has happened to me also. Yeah, this is common. It happens to all girls. You should get used to it. Self-soothing. Okay? So not present the speaker, now taken it in another direction. Now they have to accept that this is a sad part of life. I should accept it. Interrogating, getting to the facts of the matter. What happened? Where did it happen? Why it happened? Was there? All these are good questions to ask later, not at the time someone is sharing. And solving. Coming up with a solution for another person is the worst thing you can do. Because you are basically adding to their fear. They already fear that they do not have the necessary skill, the necessary knowledge to solve their issue. And now, by coming up with a solution for them, rather than trusting them to come up with their own solution, you just about collaborated it. Said, yes, you will not be able to do it yourself, let me help. All of these things will not let you be a good listener. And you, with a show of hands, tell me, are you guilty of any of these? Do you do any of these things, or you are a brilliant listener? So when I asked the question earlier, do you believe you're a good listener, and the responses now, they're not matching. Okay. So now we know what you shouldn't do. So what should you do now then? Next slide, please. Go back. What you need is only offer your presence. An unbiased, non-judgment presence. Just be there as a listener. Not form any judgments, not draw any conclusions, not want to help, not want to solve their problem, not want to fix it for them, but to simply be there. When you don't do all the things we spoke about, the presence is a natural consequence. You are just there. Now, how does this help you in your professional life? It certainly helps you in your personal life, but it also helps in your professional life. Because good listeners are very, very rare. But good listeners have an energy around them that attracts a lot of good stuff. Let's stand up. Next slide, please. A good listener builds bonds. How? When you are listening without bias, without any judgment, you are able to make an appropriate response. Okay? You may think, in your mind, you may be evaluating, I don't understand why this person is making such a big deal. But if you tell this person, I appreciate your sharing, I'm here, I'm listening to what you have experienced. That is enough. They don't want you to agree or disagree. Just to be heard is a very big gift. People go to a therapist just to be heard because nobody is listening to them anymore. That is why therapists are doing so well. I have a friend, he said, I need a therapist. I told her, I'm doing inner work coaching, come to me. So she said, okay, I really just need somebody. I'm willing to pay them 2,000 rupees. I just want them to listen to me for 1 hour. Because we are not really listening to each other anymore. People don't have spaces. People are unable to connect with family members, anybody in their workplace is willing to listen. It has become so hard. So if you become a good listener, you will build bonds. You will be able to make appropriate response because you actually connect their pain or joy or whatever they are expressing. You can be an empathetic team player because you can understand that we all have certain issues. We're all working on them and there is no bias. There is no judgment against people in your team. You can be a very good learner because when you are a listener, you will have the kind of energy that allows people to feel safe with you. And when people feel safe, they are willing to share not just their personal experiences but also share their knowledge. Just through listening, I have learned so much of life. Just being with people who knew so much, and by just being there and offering my presence, I have had the opportunity to learn so much from them because they have been willing to share. You will be respected, certainly. Any person with knowledge, patience, always respected. In a professional workspace, this makes you a go-to person. People want to talk. When I was in Oracle, we had this guy, he was very quiet. He was the kind of person you just saw, you never heard him. But anyone had an issue, any technical issue, they would always go to him. He spoke only as much was needed, and he was just there to listen and tell people that okay, this is where you need to go. Whatever query they had would just serve. It was just very good listening. You will be liked. If you can offer somebody a listening ear, you will be liked. And if you are liked by your peers, collaboration just becomes easier. And as a result of this, you will be good at brainstorming, group discussions, stress management, because if you're a good listener and if you're liked, you're respected, then you're stressed less, isn't it? If you feel safe where you are, secure, stress not there then, and will improve your feeling. Okay? This may seem like a magic wand, but from all I have learned in these past years, I have found listening is very powerful to have. Extremely powerful to have, which opens up many roads. Next slide. Next we move brainstorming and group discussion, and you will find that all these skills are actually very related to each other. For brainstorming and group discussion, obviously you need to be a good listener. If you are only going to be part of a group discussion, simply to raise your point and not respond appropriately to the other person's point of view, you are just having a debate with yourself. There is nothing that you are contributing to the group. You are not even listening to somebody's point of view. You are so adamant about your own point that even when the other person is speaking, you are rehearsing how you will speak. Doesn't that happen? Sometimes. You are rehearsing how you will speak. You are not even present when the other person is saying something. If you don't even connect to the message, how can you respond? So, being a good listener is a major skill. Connection, patience, open-mindedness, presence, all of these are very important in contributing both brainstorming sessions. You obviously need knowledge and confidence that also comes as a result of listening and being present. Now, if I were to ask you, when you have knowledge session as part of your curriculum, how well do you listen? Are you looking at the clock, waiting for time to pass? Because if you're doing that, that's not unnatural. It happens. In food, we say it's not about what you eat, it's about what you digest. That applies to anything in life. It's not about what you are consuming, it's about what you are able to assimilate. And when you have a lot of it coming in, because our capacity is limited, we can assimilate only so much. After some time, our attention starts wandering. It It's a very natural response. But as you work on your listening skills, you will find that you are able to concentrate for a longer time. You are also able to follow conversations for a longer time, and you can cope. The previous slide. And the other thing, healthy competition. What is healthy competition? I personally don't like the word competition at all. I don't believe that you have to compete to your best. You can do your best even without competition. In fact, you can do more than your best without the stress of competition. That is my belief. I don't know if you shared that. But in my own life, I have found that when I used to compare, which came from a sense of competition, I used to do things under stress. And once I was out of that, and I just did things because I found doing it itself was such a joy to me, there was no stress. And that helped me be more creative, more spontaneous, to a point where what we ultimately offered was even better than what we used to earlier do. That also comes as a result of improving our skills as a collaborator and also working on a discipline. When you are able to do this, your leadership, camaraderie and stability are going to go up. A good listener will make a good leader. A good listener will make a good team player. And a good listener is also fairly stable in his or her stance, whatever they stand for, whatever they conclude, whatever they infer. Next slide, please. When I was going through this curriculum, I told Prashant, I can't do this. It's too much to do in 1.5 hours. What will they understand? So he told me, you just do an orientation. So this slide had created. But what I just said now about consumption and escalation is also something that applies here right now when I'm talking about all. How much am I throwing at you? How much are you receiving? And this is always a balance we play, especially in academia, because if you leave today taking away just 10% of what is shared, that may also be enough. Because sometimes you just need some change in thought, different way of understanding something, which is enough to set you on a path that is different from what you were on earlier. So if it feels a little heavy, don't mind it, and accept that everything will not be understood, because these are things everyone learns through a lifetime. These are not easy. So go easy on yourself and allow me to finish this slide also. Communication. Many who had raised, the majority of you had raised your hands when I said that better communication would improve your life. Is anybody willing to share why do they think it would improve their life? Is anybody willing to share? Like, you're a quiet group of people. I know you all have answers, just not standing up. Come on, there's no right, wrong, just share. Yeah. So what you're saying really is that communication creates clarity. And if we are clear about what we are saying and what we are receiving, this simplifies money. That's a very... Anybody else? No? Okay. So what do we mean by communication? First thing you need again do, as in the case of listening, is also observation. You cannot communicate with somebody without first completely observing. Now in non-violent communication, there is a concept called observation. What we mean in that sense is, can you observe without bias? Now for example, if I look at someone here and I say, oh, they look bored. Is that an observation or a judgment? What do you think? Speak up. It's a judgment. So the observation could be, what could a simple observation? That he is sitting there and looking away from the stage. But I interpreted it as boredom. Right? We do this all the time. Don't we? We look at someone, the way somebody dresses, the way they talk, the way they stand, the way they express themselves, language they use, the words they use, the accent they have, multiple things because of which we take a judgment about that person. That happens. Isn't it? And then when they do something, we again interpret it. We don't see it merely for what it is. That is a very important skill. The skill to make a clean observation, which makes you a communicator. If you can just look at something as it is without interpreting it. Again, a difficult skill to master, something you can explore. At least you can start on a journey of exploration in that direction. What does it mean? Make a clean observation, and how that can change the way you communicate. If you are able to do that, your connections with people are more authentic. What do we mean by authentic? Not saying things merely to make people happy or to make things convenient, but to say something because you really mean it. One of the reasons many people leave jobs is because they don't find a space where they can be authentic. Most people don't leave jobs unless, of course, there is a dire financial need. But finance is usually not the reason people leave jobs. Naveen is from the HR. He would know that many times it is about a dissatisfaction at work. Many times people say that dependent on the kind of manager you've had. So when you go into, or even if you think about your own families, do you believe that the communication in your families is clear? Or it leaves you guessing about what people want? Sometimes you have to guess what somebody wants, and if you don't do it, then they seem to get angry. Then you have to find out why they are angry. It happens in personal relationships. In workplaces also. To think that you can have one work persona and one personal life persona is a myth. Whatever you are experiencing will flow in both directions. Show up in different ways, but it will flow in both directions. Being a good communicator is helpful. To be able to express yourself in verbal as well as non-verbal expressions. To expand your vocabulary. That is important for communication. What do I mean by when I say expand your vocabulary? If I ask you, are you feeling? Say good. I ask you for 100 days, you will keep telling me I am good. What does good mean? What does good mean? Good could mean multiple things plus 100 days. One day you could have been delighted. One day you could have been feeling satisfied. One day you could have been feeling fulfilled. So expand your vocabulary so that you can communicate in a more precise and direct manner. Okay? And that leads to clarity. To say that this person is feeling good today and to say that this person is feeling fulfilled about their work today, there is a lot of difference in these. So developing your vocabulary, communicate better is important. To have a genuine interest in people. First thing is to have an interest in people. If you are not interested in understanding another person's point of view, there is not going to be any communication. So, just do you have an interest in hearing the other person's point of view? I am saying this because I have worked in spaces where even before I open my mouth, I know the other person has already made up their mind. So you are there just as a formality. So it's very important to have interest. And then empathy and a willingness to be part of it. If you have these qualities, you will be again able to manage your stress better, because when you communicate, there is clarity. Clarity always leads to de-stressing, because stress usually comes when there is lack of clarity, when you are unable to say no and all those things. Next slide, please. Next slide. Value of time. Do you value time? Do you think that you are using your time the best possible way? Yes? I didn't even hear that. You have so many. Pick up it. No. You think you're using your time well? Wonderful. Why do you think you're not using your time well? What is taking up your time? Speak a little louder. I really can't hear. Oh, putting things for later. Oh. Distraction. Oh.
Addiction to few things.
Addiction to?
Few things. Like mobile.
While,
Watching
yeah.
televisions.
Yes. Yes. So today we are really in the middle of a lot of practice. We, without knowing it, we are spending a lot of time doing things that are not productive in any way. Unfortunately, we are also at a time when these very things are being marketed as good for us. If you're not doing this, people start suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out. Right? I didn't get to know what other people were doing. I didn't get to know what was most recent fashion. I didn't get to know what was the new trend in marketing that came up. Right? All these things happen. We have become part of this culture. And it's not really anything that can be blamed on anyone. It has just happened and we have allowed it to overtake us. Instead of us using technology, we have actually become puppets in the hands of it. So the answer here is not to blame technology, but to look at our habits. We can use our phone in a limited way, we choose not to do it. Isn't that true? You can put your phone away, but you choose not to do it, isn't it? We keep thinking that, okay, this is distracting. I identify it as distracting, but I don't do anything about it. So then, who has the agency here? We so often blame these things, but many times we fail to take responsibility for our actions, which is where we are unable to manage our time. To understand that time is a non-renewable resource. What you have now will never ever come again. This time will never come again. So how you use it is your responsibility. Learning to say no, even to your own compulsion. Learning to say no. Before learning to say no to other people, and we learn to say no to our own demand for certain things. Watch that Netflix for one more. Measure of time, you will earn trust because people know that if you give them a time, you will actually deliver. You will be a reliable person to work with. And as a result of all these things, your stress will be more. And it will help in all other aspects of us. Well, how many of you are comfortable saying no? Very few. This is usually the case. Very few people are actually comfortable saying. Why do you think it is hard? Because many of us want to make everyone happy. Don't want to please anybody. Isn't it? There is that fear of pleasing people when you say no. There is a fear of being your kids, someone who is always so willing to give the time. So, coming back to the first point, identifying your feelings and needs about things is very important to us. If you are not saying no, what is your reason? Understand which needs are met when you say yes. And understand also which needs are not being met, you keep saying. Next slide. Finally, we have stress management. You all said stress is there. I remember a friend of mine, I used to tell him that we have to learn to manage our stress. He used to get very angry with me. He used to say, stress to hona chahiye. There is no stress, how will we work? Stress is what makes us work. So, I disagreed with him. I said, no, it's possible for you to work without stress and still do a good job. But he didn't accept it. This is again the culture we have. We believe that without stress, we cannot perform. So sometimes, habit of saying yes to things, we know we are already full, our bucket is full, we cannot do more, but we don't say no. Why? Why don't you say no when your bucket is full? Because you think you can do more, you will push yourself, you will extend yourself. That is the kind of thing that is celebrated in today's world. The person who sleeps for 3 hours is the superhuman model for us. Isn't it? These are the people we celebrate, we show in media who are, we don't celebrate the person who says, I will sleep 8 hours. So, this is the culture we have. There are a lot of things that are not really good for us for our health, both body and mind and spirit are being celebrated, and we feel we need to align to these. So we will push ourselves beyond what is our capacity, and then we will burn out, then we will have stress, and then we will take a stress management class, and again then we will do therapy. That is unfortunately the cycle that has developed now. So, to remember this, stress is caused by many reasons: family, childhood issues, peer pressure, bullies, pressure we put on ourselves, being self-critical, fear of failure. So many things cause stress. And when we are in a state of stress, it takes very little to trigger us. What does that mean? Something unpleasant happened at home, came to college, somebody said hi, and you just stared up. Hi. It had nothing to do with what was happening then. Had everything to do with what had happened then, which you could not manage. You did not know how to manage. That happens. Stress builds. We have many clients now at the age of 45, 50, who, when we work with them, come up with issues that happened to them when they were 5 years old. That is what stress does. Holds us back. So to understand that if you are feeling stressed, and if it is beyond a manageable degree, it's important to find a way to manage it. Okay? It will show up in your behaviors, your habits, your relationships. We start picking up habits that are very harmful for our body, and we start losing the support of our body for a lifetime. So you have to change it. One thing to understand is stress is common to all. Even if you think that to suppress something, you will deal with it later, just remember that stress leaves imprints on the body as well as the mind. So to think that if I don't think about it now, it will go, it will not go. It will go out temporarily from your mind, but it will not go out of your body. Body will remember. There was this guy who had a severe neck pain. He came to us, very severe neck pain. He had been getting treatment since the last 10 years. And after a lot of listening and caring, he finally said he had an issue. He was not able to communicate with his wife. For many years he had been trying to separate. They had a very abusive relationship. He was not able to communicate this with his wife. After various other sessions, he finally developed the courage, and he did that. He went to his wife, he told her that he wants to live separately. The next day his neck pain was gone. 10 years of neck pain. This is something that I really want to leave you with. That please do not accept that it is fine to have high stress type. Mild stress, once in a while having anxiety about things that you are doing, little performance, this and that, it is okay. But don't jump on that wheel like that hamster on the wheel and think that that is normal and it is okay. If you feel high levels of stress, reach out for it. There are multiple avenues open today, reach out for it. And learn to manage your stress. You will be happier for it, everyone around you will be happy for it. And you will have a very productive life. What we all want, right? Be happy. Are we in agreement to this? We all want to be happy? Right now I'm just getting the feeling we want this to end. I know, it's the heavy session, I do understand that. Okay, next slide please. Next slide. If you remember nothing from this session, there is one thing I want you to remember, which is this: pause. Take a pause in life. Even now, this is not something about just your work. Take pauses in your life. Look at where you are, where you want to be, how you are in your body, how you are in your mind. Take care of your health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health. If you are able to do these things, everything else in life is sorted. Maybe stressing about your academic performance right now. Maybe there is a lot of work that needs to be done. But that is a small part of it. So find ways to manage it. There are ways to manage it. Find ways. Work together, brainstorm, do group discussions. Use these skills. Find ways. But always make sure that you are never like that hamster on the wheel. Make sure you are taking pauses in your life. Multiple pauses. We run a health program wherein every 2 hours we make people stop and take deep breaths. And in just those 3 days, people with acidity say we don't have acidity. 3 days, just 3 days. See the impact of stress. So that is why take a pause. In fact, I'm going to invite you now to take a pause. Just tell stop. And sit straight. Close your eyes. Hold your spine erect with only as much effort as it needed. Keep it erect. Take a deep breath in. And let it out. One more breath in. And out. Just go inwards and feel the sensation in your body. Experience it without any worry, without any tension. If you feel something good, if you don't, that is also. And with this feeling of complete acceptance for who you are, where you are, how you are, just repeat this small metta prayer with me, which is non-religious, non-political. May I be well. May I be peaceful and I be peaceful. May I be happy. May I have the patience, courage and understanding to face whatever arises. When you're comfortable, open your eyes. Did that pause feel good? Right. Thank you.
ஒரு கதை சொல்லிட்டேன் சார்.
உன்ன மாதிரி ஆளுங்களுக்குலாம் ஒரே கதை தானே. நான் கீழே இருந்தேன், தெருநாயா இருந்தேன், இது செஞ்சு அது செஞ்சு பெரிய ஆள் ஆயிட்டேன். அந்த கதை தானே.
ஓடி ஓடி அலைஞ்சு திரிஞ்சு உடச்சு முடிச்சு ஆரம்பிச்ச இடத்தை தேடி வந்து நிற்குண்டா.
ஐயோ, எப்படி சார்?
Ma'am, a memento token of her appreciation.
பழம் வாரு ரெடி ஆயிடுச்சு. எவ்வளோ நேரம் கத்துறது? வந்து வாங்கிட்டு போயா.
என் லைஃப் ரொம்ப சிம்பிளான லைஃப். 9 to 6 வீக் டேஸ் ஃபுல்லாக வேலை, வீக்கெண்ட்னா ஏதோ ஒரு சினிமா, டிவி, நெட்ஃப்ளிக்ஸ்னு ஒரு சாதாரண வாழ்க்கை.
வரும்போது 4 பீர் பாட்டில் வாங்கிட்டு வா.
நீ போய் வாங்கிட்டு வரலாம்ல.
உன் வேலையே அதான்டா, வாங்கிட்டு வா.
இவன் தான் என் தாத்தா. எனக்கும் என் தாத்தாக்கும் ஒரே பேர்.
பழம். ஹாய் பழம்.
பழம்.
அது என்ன பழம்?
திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் என் பேர். வந்துட்டார் வால்டர் வெற்றிவேல். இவருக்கு போய் தான் உலகத்தை காப்பாற்றணும்.
யோ பழம் மேல என்ன ஒரே சத்தம்.
உள்ள பேர்
Thank you, ma'am, for your session today. It is
சோபனா
indeed important
என் பெஸ்ட் ஃப்ரெண்டு.
to listen to
சின்ன
the
வயசுலேருந்து
speaker
என் ஃப்ரெண்டு.
and also the stress that comes with being half of the population and yet not recognized. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your session today. Now we break for tea. You can all take a short break and please assemble back here by 11:20. Thank you.
பழம் மாடு ரெடி ஆயிடுச்சு. எவ்வளோ நேரம் கத்துறது? வந்து வாங்கிட்டு போயா.
என் லைஃப் ரொம்ப சிம்பிளான லைஃப். 9 to 6 வீக் டேஸ் ஃபுல்லாக வேலை. வீக்கெண்ட்னா ஏதோ ஒரு சினிமா, டிவி, நெட்ஃப்ளிக்ஸ்னு ஒரு சாதாரண வாழ்க்கை.
வரும்போது 4 பீர் பாட்டில் வாங்கிட்டு வா.
நீ போய் வாங்கிட்டு வரலாம்ல.
உன் வேலையே அதுதான்டா. வாங்கிட்டு வா.
இவன் தான் என் தாத்தா. எனக்கும் என் தாத்தாக்கும் ஒரே பேர். பழம்.
ஹாய் பழம்.
பழம்.
அது என்ன பழம்?
திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் என் பேர். வால்டர் வெற்றிவேல். இவருக்கு போய் தான் உலகத்தை காப்பாற்றணும்.
யோ பழம் மேல என்ன ஒரே சத்தம்.
உள்ள பேர் அடிச்சு விட்டேன்.
சோபனா என் பெஸ்ட் ஃப்ரெண்டு. சின்ன வயசுலேருந்து என் ஃப்ரெண்டு.
சோபனா ஐடியா தான் கொடு சோபனா.
நான் இங்க வெயிட் பண்ணேன்.
அப்படிதான் லவ்னா உனக்கு என்னன்னே தெரியாது.
லவ்னா
ஹாய் பழம். ஐ லவ் யூ சொன்னாலா? கிஸ் அடிச்சிங்களா?
சார் சொன்னா என்ன? இந்த இடத்துல இப்படி ஒரு கிஸ் கொடுத்தா.
ஐ லவ் யூ.
விளங்குங்கிற
கண்டிப்பா இது விளங்காது.
அவனை ஒழுங்கா வெளியே போய் எங்கேயாவது பழக்க சொல்லு.
வாசமே
என்ன ஹீரோ இவரு?
யா எப்படி ஃபைட்டு?
நம்ப முடியலடா.
நம்ம தான் நம்மளை ரொம்ப கம்மியா நினைக்கிறோம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஆக்சுவலா நம்ம ஒரு ஆளு தான் நினைக்கிறேன்.
இப்ப அவன் என்ன பண்ணுவான்?
சோகமா இளையராஜா பாட்டு கேட்டு உட்கார்ந்துட்டு இருப்பான்.
ஒரு கதை சொல்லிட்டா சார்.
உன்ன மாதிரி ஆளுங்களுக்குலாம் ஒரே கதை தானே. நான் கீழே இருந்தேன், தெருநாயா இருந்தேன். இது செஞ்சு அது செஞ்சு பெரிய ஆள் ஆயிட்டேன். அந்த கதை தானே. ஓடி ஓடி அழைச்சு திரிஞ்சு உடச்சு முடிச்சு ஆரம்பிச்ச இடத்தை தேடி வந்து நிற்குண்டா.
ஐயோ எப்படி சார்? என் கண்ணிலே படம் பார்த்தியா சார்?
கிரிமினல் போலீஸ் நான் முடிச்ச பின்ன எரிய போறோம், புதைய போற அப்புறம் சொர்க்க நரகம் போனதுக்கு சாட்சி இல்லடா. ஒருத்தரோட கண்ணு பார்த்தே அவன் கிரிமினலா இன்னசென்ட்டான கண்டுபிடிக்க தெரியும். இந்த நொடி இருக்க வாழ்ந்துக்கோ, நேரம் நல்லா இருந்தா வாழ்ச்சிக்கோ. எதுவும் இங்க சரியும் இல்ல தவறும் இல்ல போடா. சரி, என்னோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ல எதாச்சும் எதுவுமே நடந்ததில்லை. There's always a reason to something.
எப்போவுமே பிரச்சனைனா பிரச்சனையை பார்க்காது, இந்த பிரச்சனைக்கான காரணம் என்னன்னு பாரு.
என்ன பிரச்சனை வந்தாலும் பார்த்துக்கலாம். அந்த வேதா லெட்ஸ் கெட்.
நம்ம சாவு நமக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் தனி கெத்து தானே சார். ஆனா எப்படி பார்த்தாலும் நீ நானும் ஒன்று தானே சார்.
கோழையும் வீரனும் ஒன்னே, வீரமான கோழையும் ஒன்னே, தர்மமும் துரோகமும் ஒன்னே ஒன்னே, தர்மம் காக்க துரோகம் செஞ்சே.
ஒரு இவன் கெட்டவன்னு சாய்ஸ் கொடுத்தா சூஸ் பண்றது ஈஸி. இந்த கதையில 2 பேருமே கெட்டவனே. என்ன பண்ண?
Crossing the threshold of St. Paul's College is stepping into your future. A bright future indeed. Walk in, not just for learning, but for a holistic formation that happens in the serene setting of a college nestled in a lush green campus.
St. Paul's College is one of the educational undertakings of the Society of St. Paul, an international religious institution that is present in 32 countries across the globe, with over 100 years of history. Here at St. Paul's, we aim at creating professionals for a better tomorrow, ensuring the holistic growth of every student.
Not many colleges can boast of such excellent infrastructure as St. Paul's College has. ICT-enabled classrooms, a well-equipped library, a state-of-the-art, a new and exceptionally spacious auditorium, modern various sporting facilities. St. Paul's College, Bengaluru.
start the second set. Volunteers, kindly see to it that the students are all back in their seats in about 2 minutes. Volunteers, make sure that all the students are back in their seats. Students who are standing outside, please come back inside and be seated.
Crossing the threshold of St. Paul's College is stepping into your future. A bright future indeed. Walk in, not just for learning, but for a holistic formation that happens in the serene setting of a college nestled in a lush green campus.
St. Paul's College is one of the educational undertakings of the Society of St. Paul, an international religious institution that is present in 32 countries across the globe, with over 100 years of history. Here at St. Paul's, we aim at creating professionals for a better tomorrow, ensuring the holistic growth of every student.
Not many colleges can boast of such excellent infrastructure as St. Paul's College has. ICT-enabled classrooms, a well-equipped library, a state-of-the-art professional studio, a new and exceptionally spacious auditorium, modern labs, various sporting facilities,
Please be seated, students. Fast. We're beginning the second session now.
rising to greater heights.
Volunteers, please make sure all the students are inside the auditorium.
College, Bengaluru.
If any teachers are outside, please assist the students and ask them to come inside. Please be seated. the regional head and HR from Wipro Technologies, taking care of technical hiring for Wipro from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Nagaland, Orissa, Sikkim, Tripura, West Bengal, and many more states. He carries 13 years of rich learning from the IT industry. Prior to Wipro, he worked with Grow4You as HR Assistant Manager at Verifier Technologies and HR Executive at BSS Microfinance. In his role as HR, he has managed to complete the life cycle of an employee, starting from recruitment, taken 10,000 plus interviews, processed payroll, managed performance appraisals, involved in training and development till full and final settlement. He has received various awards like Feather in My Cap Award, Shining Star Award, and Best Team Leader, Best Manager, Extra Miller Award for the excellence in his work. He was awarded the Star Performer of Wipro for generating 30,000 offers and maintaining the highest ratio of offer acceptances. He carries Masters in Business Administration and Human Resources, is a science graduate, and did his BSc in Computer Science after Diploma in Computer Science. In his free time, he rescues snakes and takes care of almost 150 trees which he has planted. From his resume, I think you can agree that there's nobody better who can train you on career and professional skills. And to add it all, he is a very interesting personality as well. We welcome you, sir, to the session, and I'll hand over the stage to you.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful introduction. Hope you have downloaded my resume from LinkedIn. Thanks for that. Can you all have a big round of applause for some of your friends who are yet to come here? I cannot hear. I think they are outside auditorium. Thank you. Even I am given a very big syllabus to complete. I need at least 1 week, 5 hours a day, to complete the syllabus given to me. And I do not want this to be one of the regular boring classroom where you are tend to be busy with your social and your mobile. And as an HR, I have 8,056 colleges to visit in a year. How many colleges? I have some hearing problem. You may have to shout out for me. I have 8,056 colleges to visit in a year. How many colleges? 8,056 colleges. Very good. Do you think it is possible for an individual to cover all 8,056 colleges in a year? Is it possible? It is possible, provided I have given it 4 years of time, not just in 1 year. So what we do is, we handpick top 10 colleges in each state. We only handpick top 10 good colleges performing in the state, and we only visit them. Plus, we also visit few colleges who are very much interested in getting their students trained in this aspect. And I am here today. What does it mean? What is it? We have spare mic. I would like some volunteers to pass it out. All of you, most of you are going to be journalists. I am giving an opportunity for you to hold mic right now. Can I have some volunteers to pass a mic whenever there is a need? Can you please remember this? complete technical hiring for you. And as an HR, I receive at least 600 emails. How many emails? How many? Very good. I try to be as responsible as possible to all the emails. Times I run short of it. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you guys when you have HR from some company to make use of getting all your doubts clarified. You can ask me anything and everything. I'm okay with some good questions. I'm still okay with bad questions. I'm happy for funny questions. Thank you. I'll be using some big words throughout my speech. When I say big words, in numbers. If you guys like the word or the number which I use, if that excites you, you can say wow. What you can say? Wow. So I said, I have some hearing problem. What you should say when you are excited or you feel happy about the number? Wow, very good. And we are not okay with something. We are not liking something. You are free to say ayyo. What you can say? Ayyo. That gives me a feedback. And I'm very good in pulling people when I ask some question. But please be prepared. I would love to get some volunteers. Having said this, we can start with my boring session for next 40-45 minutes. How many of you are excited to know about career, skills and interview preparedness? At least 80%. How about remaining 20%? Need to decide? Or parents are looking for matches? Or is it? Or you are yet to decide what to do? I think you will get some clarity by end of the session. Even before we start the session, I need some 4 experts. Why you guys are here? I have some common questions. Your faculties have asked you guys to sit here, and this is mandate. This will impact your attendance and internals. You can get dressed smart, you can take some good selfies and post. Is this the reason you guys are here today? Then I know you have some better reasons why you guys are here today. I need at least some 4, without which I will not start the session. You'll be happy to stand here for next 1 hour. You guys have to give me some expectations why you guys are here. 2 from this side and 2 from this side. My punishment of standing for 1 hour starts now. You can set some funny expectations also. Don't ask me to dance.
Yeah. To learn something new about the careers and the interview, which is exciting and we need it.
To learn something new, which industry is, right? Perspective of HR. I'm definitely going to cover. Thank you. Can we have a big round of applause for a friend who initiated it? Thank you. We have someone from this side also. Don't make her to walk too much. Make it fast.
Good morning, sir. My name is Janani, and there are 2 main reasons. One is for certificate, as my ma'am mentioned, that may help me. And one more thing is that personality. Really, like something important topic in psychology is like personality. We need to know about ourselves, and I think it's interesting topic also. So I just came.
Very good. A very good question, and it's a very good expectation. Can see. Do you guys know why this is a very good question or a very good expectation to set? Any wild guesses? Any wrong guesses? Her question or her expectation to a speaker for the day really appropriate for today. Why is it? Not because she gets certificate like all of you get, but because I have answers for those. No humor. tired? You guys listen to what I said. Her question is very good because, not because she gets certificate, but because I have answers for all the expectations plus. And hence I call it a good question. Guys, are you sleeping? I know how difficult it is for Mansi to have a session after your lunch. Just had your tea. I think looks like we should do some exercise for you guys to wake up. Start doing. Any more expectations? Only 2. This makes my job easier. If you guys do not have any expectations, it makes my job easier. Yes, please. Better ways to approach an interviewer or interview. What that? Very good. I'll try to cover that when we speak on interview preparedness. How to crack your interview. I'll cover. Thank you. Last one to go. Make it fast, guys. I can kill time asking question. Do we ever get into cab without deciding where to go? How is it? We'll first decide where to go, then only we'll get into cab. Or is there someone like me get into cab, you ask him to go wherever you want, I'll get down wherever I need. How is it? Means you guys have decided why you guys are here today. You guys have decided what you would like to know. Please help me in setting last expectation. Do we have any faculties here? Any faculties? Do you have any consolidated expectation you can set for me on behalf of the student? You have seen them longer time. If you have some question, feel this is what our students should know. If you are not expect, I'll be happy to answer. Right. Next slide. Can I get flight control?
How can we land up at Wipro?
How do we?
Land up at Wipro with a job, with a fat paycheck and still working from home.
Okay. Very good. I'll answer your question. Before we start, I would love to answer this. I'm here representing Wipro and I'm sharing my learning in the last 14 years. Wipro is one of the best places to work with. I'll tell you why Wipro is the best place to work. Wipro has recently received an award, the best place for women, female employees to work with. We have received this award. Did I say something bad? Wow, very good. Did I say something good? Then what you should say? Wow, very good. If you're not liking me, be honest. Say are you also. Okay? And we are continuing to work from home and we have lots of requirement for BSc and BCA graduates. All of you are eligible to apply with us. Okay? I'm not here to market my company. Ashinsi said she would like to work with Wipro and I said why you should work with Wipro. And Wipro is the most ethical company in the world. I repeat, Wipro is the most ethical company in the world. It's not just in India, I said it's in the world. We have received this award for last 11 years consecutively from the Ethical Hemisphere Division. Only this side is in my rhythm. They know to dance to my rhythm. Guys are speak. So, should we do some activity? How many of you are interested only in activities? Only activity, no boring slide. The faculty should have given some better prepared slides. I have some boring slides. They just spent 2 hours. Can you move to next slide? Let's quickly go into activity. If I have, there is it. Syllabus given to me is about your careers. I just went through your magazine, guys. guys have just the empowering mindset. 90% of it is already covered in it. Hope this is released today. You guys have not seen it or not gone through it. How many of you are already aware of the content of magazine? Except the drafting committee. It's new for you guys, is it? They have put wonderful time and they have invested good amount of interest in preparing this. One of the best magazine which I have read now. They have covered most of things what I am going to. When it comes to skills, we broadly classify two. One is knowledge based, another is skill based. There is something called knowledge based, which will acquire over a period of time. If I just give you a session of 30 minutes on coding, not be able to code. It requires for you to invest some time in practice, and that is knowledge. Similarly, if you are HR, you will have lots of process and policy to go through. And all these process and policy keep amending. The amending, it means changes. You get updated to it and you should be referring to it. All this happen over a period of time by practice. Second is skill based. This is a specific job function. Not everybody can do it. This requires a lot of passion. You can consider some art, some test, or some construction work, visionary activity. This is purely skill based. Even if you get good training, it is really difficult to manage skill based. Next slide. Today I'm here in your college. Some students from BS, BCA, BCom, and journalism and mass communication background. But this holds good for every individual who is looking for a job and to settle in some good companies with good career. All this has been already explained in morning session. I know this is going to be a repetitive session. If you feel you already have enough information on this, you can say, "Yo, I will skip until next slide." Listening and speaking. Morning we learned that listening is very much important when it comes to managing this stress. There are no listeners and hence people are getting stressed. What we understood from morning session. Someone at the end, is that clear? If I speak something you guys are able to hear, is it? Or do you have any issues with the mic and stuff? Someone at the end you can hear properly? Yes or no? So, communication plays vital role when it comes to your careers. What is communication? Make it fast. Any wrong answers also? What is communication? I'm not asking definition of communication as per your textbook. Just say what do you feel is coming. Conveying the message. Simple. You have something in mind and you want to communicate it to somebody else, making them to understand in the same way as you receive it is what communication is all about. And two aspects of communication is listening and speaking. Why do we listen? Why? To understand. How many of you believe we will listen only to understand? Okay. Understand? Yes. To understand the perspective. To learn. Very good. Why do we listen? Including me, 90% of here listen only to reply. So no? We listen only to reply. We listen only to reply, but we should listen to respond. Understand, process that with your knowledge, then deliver. That is what listening should be. Not just to reply, but to respond. While you respond, You are processing the information you capture. You are analyzing with knowledge. You are making use of your sense, and then you respond. There's a difference between just replying. Is this clear? Or no? Problem solving. We have good number of troublemakers. They have lot of complainers among them. They always trip. It's not good, that is not good. Starts from our house also. We start tripping for anything and everything. Have you ever tried to give solution for it? Yes. This is one of biggest skill demand. Problem solving. We have enough troublemakers, we have enough problem creators, and we have complainers. Our job to give solutions. While solution, we have lot of gurus you can call, who are good at giving solutions, but that solution should be creative. What it should be? What is it? Creative, and it should be effective. This is the problem solving skill which is in demand, which is targeting most of the students who are passing out of college. Is this skill demand? We covered creativity. Staying positive. It was beautifully explained in morning session. Should learn to say no. Start doubting the changes faster. Accept that change is for good, and change is the only option you have. If you accept anything and everything, you can stay positive in that. Staying positive in every situation, having your stress and anger in control, one among the top skills which industry is good from students like you. Leadership we already said, and the teamwork. Do we find differences in our house? When mom asks what to prepare for breakfast, we will tell something, or siblings will tell something. That is where we start tripping, starting from home. Do we discuss on that? Or is it? We'll only complain and we'll trouble our parent. This happens in industry also. Everybody believes their watch is showing the right time. They will not respect others' opinion. They will not discuss. Since there is no discussion, all other points fall. There is not taking the solution positively. There is no creativity. They are not focusing solving the problem. Being collaborative and engaging yourself in teamwork, one of other will demand. MS Office. How many of you are good at this MS Office? Anybody know what is MS Office? Microsoft Office. Why do we use it? You can say anything. To multiple. Believe me, I'm telling this honestly. From the last 14 years, I'm surviving in the industry only because I have learned Excel, presentation, MS Office. You may be into any and every industry. Every industry needs you to have some hands-on learning in MS. If this is not as part of your academics, I suggest college to introduce this as part of a soft skill training. MS Office soon going to be the mandatory skill. Start updating it in your resume. What is your proficiency in MS Office? You are a beginner, or you are a moderate, or you are an expert. MS Office help to ease your work by 50%. So if you are good in Excel, percent of your work is start learning Excel, presentation, and Word. All this MS Office product. Next is analytical skill, which is in huge demand for someone from your background. You have some data, you know how to process it, but you don't know how to present it. You only write stories. Do you think people are interested to know only read stories? They'll connect easily with pages, pictures. Can you make better picture? By representing it in some appropriate pages, you can use simple with pivot table. How many of you know pivot table? What is it? How many of you are aware how to create surveys in Microsoft Excel, like MS Forms? You should start involving in all these activities. Here, this should be a weekly active college, giving some soft skill training in terms of MS. This helps a lot. If you are good in Excel, you can do lots of analysis. You have data, you know how to process it, but how to present is what is all required. How good you are in analyzing it and storing it out. You should get trained in analytical skills. Customer service. How many of you are aware what is the roles and responsibilities of someone in customer service? Anybody know what is customer service? What is it? Yes. Very beautiful. Customer service is something when you purchase product or service. You may get across some maintenance issue. You need more help how to get money started, how to use it. Once you start using the product or service, even then you'll get a lot of queries or the quick connect is called customer service. When I say customer service, not think that it is typical call center job just responding to calls. Do you think someone who is just responding to calls can get into this customer service role? This is one of the best role in the industry. You are someone who is having this skill as eye to detail. Eye to detail. If you want to be in customer service, you should someone who go in detail and know more about the product or service you sell. If you are not aware of your product, you cannot give solution or any service. If you are someone with this eye to detail skills, or you are someone with empathy who can understand what caller who has called you with having the issue with, then you will be able to give the effective solutions to them. And this customer service is not limited to few areas, it is across the state. Anything and everything, now you guys can see toll-free numbers where you can just pick your phone and call. And this is again one of the highest demands. That when I say you should be in customer service, I am not asking you guys to get into the call center jobs or just pick your calls and answer. When we say you should have the qualities or skill of a customer service, it means you should deep dive and understand the issue, have complete knowledge of your product. Got it? The next is task management. All of you guys have multiple activities to do. All of you are doing multiple activities. Not using mobiles in the restroom can be considered as multiple tasks. What is it? You are in a classroom, you are listening to some lectures, you are already thinking about your lunch. You are already thinking about how you travel back to your home after it, or what should be your weekend plan, what is happening in all this you will be doing it. Do you think those are the multitasking? What is it? Learned in morning session, what are those? Those are distractions. So when it comes to task management or multitask, you should be having focused approach. So learning from this skill in demand, you should have focus on the job you are doing. Do not involve in too many activities at a time when you are updating. Take one task at a time, complete it, then pick the another one. You need borrow some time, learn to say no. This again, the top required skill in the industry. Doing multitasking by giving priority for the focused work, picking one job at a time, finish it, completion, driving this to closure, what all about the last. And the personal development itself is an essential skill. I'm answering your question. Personality development. What is your understanding when we speak about personality development? Is there anything to do with your physique? Going to gym, aerobics, build your body? That? Then what is this personality? Positive and? Attitude. Positive attitude. To an extent. Personality is a situation, the experience which you are giving to the other person. Is in personality, we call it as, is it? People feel comfortable when they meet something, and people do not like to meet something. So the experience which they are trying to create the other person, all about personality. How you make the person with good feel enjoy with, they are enjoying the connection, they are enjoying with, that is good person. Someone is not liking you, and they are not ready to spend some time with you, means there is something wrong with your personality. How can you involve in this personality development? We have listed few. I think many of you have studied all these in your academics also. Involving in special projects. To give a few examples of which are the special projects you can involve in. I know all of you have your 3 years or 5 years academic with some internship. I'm not referring to those projects. We just refer to some MS Office. Is this skill in demand? Cross classrooms, each section wise, you can start building your skills on this MS Office by involving in special project. This is a special project. You guys can start doing from right. You guys are in a session. How to capture attendance of every student availability. How are we capturing attendance? Are we making a note or taking your names and signature against your roll number? Is this how your attendance being tracked? How is your attendance tracked? You are writing in paper? Register. It's outdated, no? You are using, making waste of your paper. If you are good in Excel, you are good in MS Office, you have created MS form. That link is being shared with, click on that link to your mobile number or your university seat number, your attendance would have been kept. These are the special projects where I would request students to be involved in. This help when you start investing your time in the small project. You will learn MS Excel as a skill, plus you will use your creative and analytical. How to collect feedback from, we have some 200 students there. I want to know how my session. What should I do? I will give a form for you guys to fill it. From giving me a rating from 1 to 5, 1 being low, you should 5 me. Is it? All of you are happy to fill it. But again, for someone to consolidate, it takes lots of. If it is created with spreadsheet, or if you have MS form given to you guys, with your mobile you can just pick your rating. Within 2-3 seconds, I will get the feedback on my. These are the something softer aspects of your classroom activity and special projects which you guys should start working. Taking in online courses. This again, the soft skills you would like to brush up your knowledge, if you are lacking in some of these skills, you can start involve yourself in some online courses and get some certification. Mentoring colleague is one of the good skill. Mentoring colleague. Now since you are in a college atmosphere, helping other students to learn also is a skill. Wherein you can see your teamwork, you can see collaborative approach, positive. And shadowing a colleague for the day. What does this mean? Shadowing a colleague. You can consider it as shadowing your friend. You have 4 volunteers in your class. All 4 volunteers have given different activities to do on a daily basis. So no? Are you guys doing some activities like that? Do you have class representative? You have, is it? What if class representative on off? What if he or she is not available? So faculty will be running short of the information. They will lose access to many information since that one dedicated talk is not available. If you start having shadowing, you do this thing or I will. Just stand and see how I do. I learn from it. This kind of rotation of your work with the class. This is one of the very good learning skills which most of the students are missing. And this is one of the disadvantages from work from home also. Since last 3 years, 3 months we are working from home. How much ever I have learned prior to this 3.3 years, I'm still listening. If it is work from office, I would have how my colleague is doing the things different. I would have just put my chair, sit with him or her and learn how they are doing it, how they are solving. That learning is in from work from. Since now you guys are in offline classroom, start having this rotation of your responsibility. Start investing your time in shadowing your friend to learn. How many of you are socially active? Very good and honest. 2. Can I consider others do not have account in Insta, Face? How is it? Very good. Come on guys, you are all from relevant background. Journalism, mass communication. Should be socially very active. How many of you have your profiles in LinkedIn? LinkedIn. 50%. I request to make 40% of students to create your profile in LinkedIn. In Facebook and Insta, you only get to know about the friends you follow. If you have your profile in LinkedIn, you will get to know what is happening in the industry. What is happening in the industry? You all know recession, right? You all know moonlighting, right? How many of you know moonlighting? Only faculty know this. Moonlighting, one of the biggest topic of discussion. I believe since the guys are not active in LinkedIn, you are about the topic. Start involve having your account in LinkedIn and follow your dream home. You will get to know what is happening in the industry which you follow. This will also help you for your interview prepared. What is happening in this industry? Please have your account in LinkedIn. Start building your network with your seniors. Start calling them. Now, you have some 100 students here who are in final year. You will get into industry after another 6 months. Come back to your college, visit your college next and share your experience, how you are finding your working on the ground. Is the syllabus studied has helped you anywhere in your work? Or what are the gaps you are finding? What do you think your juniors should start working? Start having this alumni connect at least once in a month. Every 3 months, start pulling your seniors working in different industries. Come here, speak to you guys, giving some tips on what are the skills in demand or how you guys can build gap between your academics and the industry. Next slide. This slide I think I would for you guys. Have you guys have read any of this in your syllabus? Yes, you learned everything. Do you guys want me to hit and run this slide, or you want to go in deep? For how many students this slide looks new? 2, from 8 to 10. All others have gone through this syllabus, is it? Remaining 90% are aware of this. Very good. Then I can start asking questions. 2 in black and red, the last. No, none in black and red. Just check how curious you guys are. Looks like you cover this slide is most of you not aware of. Natural curiosity should be your skill by default. It is skill by default by a person who is getting journalism or mass media, is it? If you are not someone who is not curious about things, you will never get into the journalism. You should be curious about things, what is happening around you. If you are not curious, you having some data or some piece of information is of no use. If you are curious, then you will start researching to know more about it. Once you research, you will deep dive into that to understand. If you know more, you can give better service. If you are good in giving services, means you can manage your task well. And by doing all this cycle, you will get to understand what is required for your audience, what is required and what needs to be given. So staying curious is the mandatory skill that someone from journalism and mass background should really possess. Organizational skill. When I say organizational skill, don't get confused with organization as an industry. When I say organizational skill here, organizing yourself. We discussed about this when we were discussing about multitasking. When your approach should be on focused task. All of you have lots of things to do, but focus on one job at a time and drive that to closure. That is what organization skill all about. A very important skill, strong ethics. How many of you feel doesn't follow ethics? What is ethic? What is it? Moral. What is value? One has said also. What is the value? You have seen some happening to over a period of. You learn from your experience. This has worked for us from a longer time. Then you start valuing. Once you start valuing the experience, you will believe. You believe this will work good for us. So if you have some ethic, whatever you do, not the ethics which you are defining, is the ethic which has been worked for most for traffic. Not just doing the right thing when people are being monitored. Not ethic. Choosing to do right even when nobody is monitoring us, it's all about. Research skills we covered when discussing about natural curiosity. For again, if you want to be a good journalist, you should be someone who is good in researching skill. To do all your research activities, should definitely know MS Office. Without MS Office, you cannot do 90% of analysis. So again, we are coming back to the major skill in demand in industry. Even if you are a software engineer, you need MS Office. Start spending time in learning MS Office. Interviewing skill. How many of you have taken some interview? Only 1, 2. Have you guys have not taken any interview? Have you guys have not taken any interviews? You would have taken many such interviews, but don't know that an interview. After you go back home after attending some function or party, does your father or mother start asking you, who all came, how was the event, what was the menu, who was wearing what jewelry, all these things guys discuss, is it? What are you trying to understand during those discussions? You have not been in that place. Someone has placed that event and you are trying to pull the information out. Is this not an interview? This may not be in the format of an interview, but still it's an interview. Here, when it comes to an interviewing skill, as an interviewer, I am trying to understand whether you are the right for the job or not. Do you have the right for the job or not? As an interviewee, you are need to understand whether I am able to deliver or reflect career path. Is this the right place to work? So it's an interview in both. You are trying to understand your industry, it is a good company to start, and we are trying to understand the person. Prospective employer, is their right fit for interviewing skills? It's a very good skill and demand for you guys. If you have not done any, maybe start doing mock tasks. So start spending some time on weekend at the classroom about your interviewing skill. Have good number of videos in YouTube. Refer to it. Make a note of what needs to be the format of what are we trying to understand from it. How are we going to analyze it? So all of you, I request start having review. You start having it in your class. Two more skills which are required for you guys: computer literacy. Now everybody is aware of using computer. Decades ago, when we speak about computer, it only means whether you know how to speak on the desktop, how to give it out, how to insert profit is content. Was the computer literacy training. Now computer literacy. What is the definition of, please lower the volume. What is the definition of computer literacy now? What is your understanding on computer literacy? How the current age adults are picking the information? Do you think they are reading the newspaper? Do you guys read newspaper now? No, is it? Most of us do not even touch the newspaper nowadays. How do we gather information? E-magazines, is it? At least you guys are reading e-newspaper. No. So how you guys information there? This is again your computer literacy. To gather the information, what is the source of information or news to the current age adults? You need to do lots of homework on this. Where are these adults? When I say adults, young crowd is investing their time to gather the news. To know this, again you need to do research. This is again social media. Most of us are getting our daily updates in social media. Yes or no? Yes or no? Let's see if you recall it. knowing the platform that there is in crowded at time that is called a company. We should be aware what is source of news for young generation in have. Last skill is English grammar. All of us are in communicate, not just listening and. Are you guys hearing me in bits and or there is Is this better now? I am asking, when it comes to English grammar or when it comes to communication, not just what you listen and how you respond. It is also grammatically correct, makes sense. Right? If you are not good in grammar, I did not force you guys to go for grammar class. We have a digital aid server. Start using software or application there which will suggest to autocorrection. While using this, be careful to prove. Once you are done with your drafting, to go back and read it back. Whatever piece of information you have processed the publication, that should be errors, grammatical errors. Next slide. Do you guys have any doubts till now? Any doubts till now? Sir, have a doubt? Very good question. Have a round of applause for her. I have a counter question for her. I said, very good question. That is a very good question, and all of you clapped for it. Why is it very good question? Okay, not because he took all the courage on all your behalf and asked, but because I have an answer. No, you know, wow it. You guys are soon going to be a journalist. There are lots of humor with you guys. Or should I consider you guys are not interested in escaping? You guys are not having any doubt. My takeaway is that I have done brilliant. When I say I have done brilliant job, all of you have understood what I said. Or should I consider my session was pathetic? You guys did not understand it. What is the scenario here? Was it wow or ayo? Only. I'll answer your question after this. So, on to your academic or learn to sit up. What is the difference between biodata, resume? Right? Everybody is aware of this. Biodata is typically carry only personality, name, date of birth, gender, right, contact. If you are lucky, you can have your parent, family detail. That is all about biodata. It is outdated. Except for matrimony, nobody else biodata. What is the curriculum meeting? What is CV? What is it? Second, boring storytelling or essay writing. You will write anything and everything you have done in your field. Starting from giving access to someone at the door till giving any major job, you will capture every and any activities you perform during your work. That is again outdated. Even CV is outdated now. An average recruiter will spend only 30 seconds on your data which you are given. Biodata can be read in 2-3 seconds. CV require at least 10 minutes to read it. Forget about understanding or highlighting the skills which you have really possess. So it is always resume the best. Irrespective of your number of years of experience, please keep your resume and restrict it to only one page. As a recruiter, I will not check into resumes if it is too big. I don't have time to move to next page. I'll see whatever data I required if it is available in the first page, or else I'll just move to next profile. Why do we do so? Do you guys think we are ignoring the profiles? Or do you think I have a bandwidth issue in checking all the resumes? I have 10 jobs and I have 10 applications. What I will do? I will not even look at the resume, because I need 10 people and there are only 10 people available. I'll take all 10 people, even without looking at your resumes. I'll hire all of you guys, even without any interviews. I need people, there are only 10 people, I'll take. I have 100 jobs and I have 1000 applications. What should I do now? Again, I cannot use the same method what I did earlier. Now I need to put some eligibility criteria in place. Your resume will also reflect the interest you are having in the job that you are applying for. If you guys are sharing any incomplete resume, we do not have a band or we do not have interest to look into the incomplete profile. You have only your email ID, no contact number. Do you think I will send an email to you asking please share your mobile number? Or if it is only contact number available and email ID is not there, somebody from my team will not call you guys asking for your email ID. Because we have another 900 profiles with complete information. Having complete resume or preparing complete resume, spending some time on preparing your own resume is also a skill that reflects your interest, that reflects your personality. That gives the first impression. Keep your resume very brisk. When I say very brisk, no nonsense. I'm not worried about your marital status. I'm not worried about knowing your gender. I'm not worried where you're staying now until I have your email ID active, your contact number active. Limit your personal details in the profile. Only mention the contact details which is required. If I need some more information, I can connect with you. These are the basic things which should be reflected in your resume. Customize your resume for each position. Okay. Now I have prepared my resume. I will never update my resume in my lifetime. Whichever jobs come, I just forwarding my resume to that. That shows again your lack of interest for that position. I have received an invite to attend a session. I know there are 2 female guest speakers and I am the male among them. They just copy pasted, dear ma'am. I was just looking, have they customized it? Have they proofread it? They said, hi Naveen sir, dear madam, your cab is waiting here. Where is your focus? Where is your eye to detail? I know you are doing multiple tasks and you did not have time to speak it better, just copy paste to all these speakers. These are some of the smallest examples which we see now day in, day out, and it needs clear focus. When we are just forwarding the resume, please highlight the skills in your resume that is appropriate for the position you are applying for. I am applying for a position of payroll processing. Just to consider, I am applying for a position of payroll processing. In my resume, I speak only about my skills and expertise in handling labor laws. Do you think someone who is looking for a person to process their payroll is even interested to look whether I know about labor laws or not? Do you think my resume is relevant for the role? It is irrelevant. If I am applying for the position of payroll officer, my resume should speak how good I am in numbers, how accurately I can process the data, how curious I am processing data on time. That's some of the skills which I have to highlight if I am applying for the role of payroll officer. So any and every job when you are applying, please make sure you highlight the relevant skill and you need to rework on it. And how many of you guys already have your profiles in Naukri? You guys have updated your profiles in Naukri? Only one or two. You start, create profile. Create your Naukri profile today. It will ask you guys to prepare your resume. Since now you are seeing the framework, it will be easy for you guys to prepare better resume. And how frequently you guys are updating your profiles in any job portal? Frequency I'm asking. There are some people, as we said earlier, they are complainers. They tell that it's Naukri or any job portal is a scam. You will never get any job opportunity. Is it so? But we have other side of the story where people are getting jobs through LinkedIn and Naukri. How they are getting and how we are missing those opportunities. This may be new for you guys since you never know about this fact. Or in a day, there are some 80 lakhs profiles being updated in Naukri. How many? 80 lakhs. How many? 80 lakhs. So I'm lazy. I have just uploaded my resume today, and I will never log in again and update my profile. When a recruiter starts downloading the resumes tomorrow, my profile is already below 80 lakh profile. Do you think there is a chance for your profile to get shortlisted? So it is ideal for you guys to update your profile on daily basis. You need not make any changes. Just log in, change your mobile number and update the same and save. When a recruiter starts downloading the resume for the day, your profile should come in the top 100 or 1000. It should not be 80 lakh below. This is the essential knowledge you should have while you are applying for a job or when you are looking for some opportunity. To look at the structure of your resume, we discussed about customizing your resume, and you have a summary in your resume. Why are you applying for this job and what is the skill you have in your job that you update as an objective or a summary. That will be a snapshot of it. Throughout your resume, whatever you have mentioned in your objective in the summary, that should reflect. I will show you some sample resume also after this. Header, please have your contact details alone. Your name, active email ID, and the number which those are sufficient as part of your header. Now it's a recent trend of uploading the picture. I do not know whether it's good or bad. It's up to you. If you are having some good pictures, maybe you can upload, but not funky picture. Make sure the pic you are uploading your resume is professional, taken in the white background with decent, not wearing some sunglasses, not having colored hairs, not wearing the funky. If this professional pic is good, you can use your photo in your resume. Objective should not be story. Most of the students, 99.9% of the students, are not even aware of what is the objective which they update in their resume. Just they will download some resume from the Google, they will copy paste their objective. That objective should speak about you, why are you applying for this job and why you are appropriate or fit for that job. Please start writing your objective for your career and that should reflect in your resume. Start having your objective. Do not copy paste somebody's else. And restrict that to 1 or 2 lines. Don't write stories there. When it comes to your resume, you should always have your academic detail. You will only mention their highest qualification, but any typical recruiter will look at all the qualification. When I say qualification, it is not just the degree name which you are attained. You should always mention what it should come from the highest qualification attained. Say if you have done your masters, mention your master's name and what is the specialization you have done and what is the duration of the course and what is your scores in that qualification. Starting from 10 till your highest qualification, you should have all your academic details available in your profile. If anything is missing, recruiter will not come back to you asking for your additional information. Since we already have sufficient number of profiles with 100% information, we will process that. As I said earlier, I have 100 job and 1000 profiles, then I will put some eligibility criteria. I need someone who has scored 50% above throughout the academics. In your profile, you have not mentioned what is your scores in your plus two. Do you think we will tap back, ask you guys to share scores? We will even skip that test. So, have your profile completed. And when it comes to work experience, don't just write complete job description you applied for. Just copy and paste it job description. You highlight the accomplishment. What have you achieved while doing that job? That speaks for you. Please have your accomplishments on your profile. We discussed about this. Having any document without any errors, without grammar error. Be cautious. You read your profile 2 to 3 times before you submit it. Go through your document that will reflect you, that will reflect your personality. Spend some good amount of time in your preparing your resume and highlight all the accomplishments, awards you have received, starting from your college. If you have volunteered something, you have been recognized for some special skill you are having. Start capturing all those here. This is all about your profile. Any questions till now? References, you manufacturing sector or public sector will ask references. But most of the companies now are investing the time in references. Initially we used to write our faculty's name, the principal or HOD's name and number, connect, want to take any more skill. Now they won't do that. It's outdated. We don't do any reference. Because to check if you are having that knowledge on the particular job role, we have our own assessment, interviews will identify it. We will not look into any references. It's outdated. Skip if you can do that. If there are any companies which is mandating you to share some 2 to 3 responses, then you can do it. Or else you can skip that. Any questions till now? Next slide. You can see a sample resume. I'm sure you cannot read it, but the intention of showing this profile is to have it one page. This do not have multiple pages. In the background, it is white background. Whenever you upload pics, your face, eyes will be clearly visible. The only personal details are not updated here. Contact information is updated. Summary is being captured in profile section. You have an experience, education and object. These are the only details which any recruiter will doubt. More the information you feed in, they will not have time and time to refer and read all your story. Highlight the accomplishments and keep your resume crisp. Next slide. Is it also a part of your syllabus? Have you guys read this? Have you guys read this before? No, is it? I just saw this is there in your magazine. Launched this morning. Everything is captured there. How you can succeed in your interview? Do I still have time or I'm running short of my time? Do I have time? Yes, sir. No time, is it? You are already late for your lunch. Honest answer. Very good. I just hit and run. After this, I have only 2 activities I take for 5 minutes. Next 10 minutes, I'll try to wind up myself. These are the 7 tips to help you to have your interview successful. You should always have prepared thoroughly. If you are attentive when we are discussing about your resume writing, we covered everything there also. Prepare thoroughly. When we say about this, it means you should be focused on what is the job interview that you are attending, which are the skills that you should focus on, you should speak about. I said, right, I am applying for some payroll role and I should not discuss about my expertise in managing statutory things. I should speak about numbers. How good am I in numbers? How good am I managing volume? So you should keep it relevant and prepare thoroughly and go through the job description carefully and list down the points. Those are the skills which you are good at in managing this group. You highlight those skills and start our interview. Make a first good impression. You should always carry a smile on your face and smile should be natural. What is a natural smile? And what is a fake smile? I know all of you are now giving fake smile. So natural smile, it comes instant and it will last soon. It will be on your face for some 10 to 15 seconds. This fake smile will remain throughout the interview. There is something to laugh, there is no fun factor, you always blush of interviewer, which is not required. Have a natural smile and smile when it is sleep. You all know how the dress code should be for interviews. It's not now the formals or casuals, it's a comfort wear. Whatever makes you comfort, you can wear that. Having said you can be in a comfort wear, don't wear, the dress code which you follow in Goa. Should professional and decent. When someone is looking at you, take your interviews, they should not get distracted. As simple as that. Turn offense and not a defense. These are the very big words. Will require 2 hours to discuss on. You should be open for any and every question. You never know if interviewer is trying to measure your stress management skills. We have taken some 10,000 tourists till date. When we are hiring for a leadership, when it's a leadership, we hire people under leadership to make decisions. We hire someone at the VP and above level. For them, it's not regular, like we ask them to go to the profile, how much you have scored, what is the biggest challenge you have accomplished in your previous work. Those are not a part of our interview strategy to hire for leadership. We do press interview, asking all nonsense questions and making the interviewer to quit the interview. You are someone who carry smile on your face, who stay positive, stay calm throughout the interview. If you are able to manage the interview, that you are good in managing stress. The high stress management is a very good and skill demand for leadership. Use non-verbal strategy. Not making too many body languages, it's a non-verbal. Just copy the body language of the interviewer. So, I am someone who is sitting straight on the chair. If you are also sitting straight, I will connect to you. There is a establishment of connection if we both are having the same non-verbal side. If I am someone who is comfortable crossing my leg, I am sitting. I am an interviewer, I am sitting in this posture. If you are also sitting in the same posture, there will be a connect. I am someone while talking, I lean on. I am someone who is doing that, if you are following that, there will be connection. So try to connect with the interviewer. If you connect with your interviewer, tracking it is very easy. Because there is already a connection, just that the formality which will complete in few minutes and you are successful in completing your interview. Just follow this non-verbal sign and be positive, we already discussed. Connect all the dots. Before attending the interview, you have gone through the JD and you have made sure that skills required in the job description has been highlighted in your resume. And you make sure when you are at the interview table, you will connect all the dots. You will speak about all the skills which they have highlighted in your job description, which you have already highlighted in your resume, and speak about it. And what have you done to acquire those skills? What are you good at? Any question for the interviewer? What experience do I gain? To put in better words, what is that I learned if I join your company in next 3 months, next 6 months? Or what is the immediate challenge this company is facing where I should work on? When can I expect a call back? Do you have any feedback for me? These are some of the open-ended and positive. Don't ask them, I've seen you somewhere. You stay in this location. Have you traveled in this bus or this metro? Don't ask all this nonsense. as something is relevant. That too, if you are interested in the job, interview went well, you got some clue that you are through the interview and it is positive, then you can ask type of question. If you are not had the interviewer, you can just thanks for your time. Okay. Any questions till now? Okay. Do we still have another 5 minutes for some activities or wait for your lunch? How many of you are eagerly waiting for your lunch? Can raise your hand. Should we ignore remaining 40% now? How many of you are willing to do some activities? Again, same people. Okay. 50 plus 50 minutes to 50%. Since it is 50-50, let's only one act. I need some 5 volunteers. Don't make me to pick someone here. I want some 5 volunteers. Okay. Can some 5 volunteers come on? This is what we do in classroom. They are asking questions. When the faculty is coming, you look other side. You will not make your eye contact. Thinking that you will catch. Very good. 2 more from this side. Or should I pull? Please come, 1 more. Very good. The activity is very simple. From the morning session and this session, we have discussed a lot of things. So how you guys are going to put all those into practice? How you can demonstrate your learning all about this activity? I am going to display an image here. It's a management image. All 5 you can stand. We will display some image for you guys. And if we ask you people, tell something about the image, I know I will get all 6 different stories. Is it? All of you are from different background. All of you are having different perspective of the image. And all of you guys are, by this time at least, doing storytelling or narrating stories. You will tell your own good stories about the image. But what I need is continuation of the story. Continuation of the story. The first person will get 20 seconds to build a story, and whatever story you will tell, second person has to pick it from there and you narrate the story, and there should be continuation and there should be next. You are telling something and second person is taking something else from the image, it means you are not captive. By doing this activity, what is your learning? That answer should come from others who are sitting there. Are you all ready? Or you want to change your place? Who want to stand first? They have a liberty to start their stories their own way. Others have no option, you have to build the story. Okay? Just think, you are all reporters, you have witnessed an event, and don't try to report in your own ways. It's that you are continuing. Next slide, please.
लॉन्ग फ्रेम बड़ा फ्रेम सब आए
The art of playing volleyball.
एक सीधी सही
Volleyball is a nice game, so everyone likes to play the volleyball. I'm a player, and the hand of the player who is willing to play a volleyball with his hands, and is going to pass the volleyball to the next opponent player. And the volleyball, if it is passed, the opponent will get the point. If the
Center.
opponent fails to pass it to the next opponent player in within 3 passes, then the opponent will get the point. So, this carry on. This carries to the next right, and after this game is very significant in India, and many players have won many awards. So I am passing to Guy.
तो इनको कोई ऐसे खड़ा करवा दो सामने से. कर ले, जूम कर ले उस पे, उसी पे जूम कर ले. अगर कोई देख तो
They got 2 Indian players. They any of got volleyball. The players are playing volleyball.
माइक अभी सुन रहे हो, माइक अभी
And also, he or she has passed the ball to the other player. If he hit the ball, he can
थोड़ी अकल है इसमें.
Hello.
So we're playing volleyball and the match going on, and the twist is they suddenly started raining, and the match is postponed. And the match is on, and yeah, the next event. No, we can't say it because it's raining. That's it.
Though the match was postponed, but the players decided to play even in rain, even it is, and the rally went continuously. That players even played in rain, and even though they continuously passed the ball, then at last a player left the ball and lost the points. That so one of the player lost his point, and this point is being postponed to the next team, and very eagerly playing. But it's raining, though they are so tired, and they went for some rest. They had a cup of coffee as it was raining. They made themselves feel pleasant and more active.
After the break, they started up their next match. That is the photo that was placed here. They had the equal opportunity with the 4 members, and everyone are watching eagerly who is going to win because the ball is standing near the net, and the 4 fingers are waiting to win the points for their teams. So like everyone and the referee is waiting to say the score that who is going to win, whether it's A or B. Because the ball is near the net, no one knows that who is going to win, and the match is going eagerly, and there is a short break.
So how was this activity? Fun is it? Wow is it? Say honest answers. Wow. I know you guys are good followers. Initially it took time for first 3 people to understand the concept. So The ask was to build a story on what you can see. It's not raining there. Is it raining? You guys are getting into... Huh? It was not raining. You guys... I don't know what to say. You are getting into a sensible job of journalism. You should only deep dive into the information available there, process that, and give the information to the audience at what has happened. Okay? You should not build your own stories. What is being seen should be reflected in your article. If you start giving surprise that there is a rain, someone lost, someone cried, someone endured, you may get good followers, but not the quality one. You should build the stories only in what is being witnessed, what is available there. You could have started speaking with ball looks colorful. Email would have been better if these lights were not turning. There are 4 people who are struggling to get points to their team. You can see some teamwork happening there. Is it not? Using that humor, you could have created some more sensible talks on this. But from the third person, the flow was good. There was a rhythm in that. There was a continuation. I know this is the first kind of activity happening, and you need some practice on it. And this is the task for the faculty to start having these kind of activities in class. That can be a political debate, that can be religious debate, that can be skill-based debate, or what can be the gaps in education academics. Those kind of images, management images, you can Google it. You get hundreds of pages, and you can start building your story. You can start practicing this in your classroom. Good attempt. Thank you all. Can we have a big round of applause for that? Now that you know what needs to be done, you have an image being displayed. You should restrict yourself discussing about what is being witnessed. Okay, nothing should come as a surprise. And I have one more very good image to speak. And I would not ask volunteers. Those volunteers who are standing here all the while, who are those? There are 2-3 volunteers standing. One more standing here. All the volunteers who are standing all the while, please come on, let's complete this activity in less 2 minutes. After that, you are free for your lunch. I did not ask you to go to next slide. Please make it fast. You guys are about to complete your academics or getting into a job. Having this proactive approach, grabbing the opportunity to be your skill again. That should come as an habit. The next image, again you guys will have time to start your own story building after 20 seconds and remain carry or continue the story. You can use humor, but pray to the fact what is being visible. Next slide, please.
then, Ramu, you know what? Yesterday I heard something about Lakshmi. Do I know what it is? No. But I heard she got struck by the lightning in the summer season. How is that? Okay, in the summer season, right? Okay, have you heard of that sudden thunder during summer season? No? No. I think that's the result of global warming then.
Wow.
Yeah, because of global warming, I can only see smoke all around here and there, you know? And then melting of polar cap and floods and hurricanes. They worked!
Congratulate all your friends who did their honest attempt. Come on, guys, clap for your friends. How was this story? Be honest. Wow, is it? Are you ready? Very good. There was no clear indication what this. They could have started it and done. Okay. And the instruction given was to limit the discussion to what is being shown there. Okay. And it was like a brainstorming session. They were discussing about raining in the off season. It's not a rainy season, but it's raining. They were discussing something related to that. Good that they started it and then jumped into different scenario. And there was continuation of the story, but there was no flow in. Is it? Was there a flow? Story was continued, but there was no flow. These are the skills which you need to build. Start building your stories. See some random object and start writing your stories. A journalist should be a good writer, should be a good editor, he should be a good leader, he should be overall good in terms of see something and narrate it how exactly it happened. That is where all your jobs are sensible. Hope this session was informative. Did you guys like my session? How was it? Say more about, don't think I'll complete my session now. Till Prashant asked me to talk. How many of you feel this session was relevant to you guys? You can raise your hand if you feel this session was relevant. From 80%. How many of you feel this is not relevant? Means whatever you had some ideas in mind that not being answered. Was there anything not relevant? And what do you think I should change in my next present? Was this super? Does this deserve 5-star rating? Be honest guys. I need some you also. Thank you. Thanks for listening to me for last 90 minutes. All of us have successfully wasted last 90 minutes from 200 students. Some 20 days time we wasted put together. Or do you think you got at least one learning? I was not aware of this. I got to know one thing. At least everyone got one good learning? Yes. Okay, then I think I have done some decent job, not good job. Thank you all. Wish you good luck for your academics and career. Whatever we discussed, this should not end here. It's not that your college has made mandate for you guys to sit here and hence you were sitting here for sake of attendance. Their intention was to give some more real-time scenarios for you guys to start working on it. We hope we discuss some real cases where you can start working on your weekends in classes. They should come as a special project, not related to academics, not related to you should start involving these activities so that you will work on your skill. Wishing you good luck. Someone of you are interested to join Wipro, They have good requirements. I can share the job description and the registration link with your placement. They will share with you guys on email or on Insta or in WhatsApp or in Telegram. Just need to click and submit. Wipro is a wow. Wow means Women's of Wipro.
Wow.
60% of our leadership is only female. As on today, Wipro's gender ratio is 38% female, remaining male. Our target to reach 50% in next. So you guys are in demand. You have appropriate skills. Start applying for the companies. Focus on safety and enlistment of women and the skills. And wishing you good luck. Happy to see you again. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Please receive a token of appreciation from us. I invite Mr. Paulos, Assistant Professor, Department of Journalism, to hand over the momentum. Please give a round of applause. We appreciate you so much. I hope all of you have understood how the gravity and importance of the resource person we have here today with us. He is extremely important when it comes to your career and your professional skills. Thank you so much, Mr. Naveen, for the training.
When you were asking you guys to ask some questions, you guys did not ask much questions. It doesn't mean you do not have any question. I know all of you have at least one good and one bad, one funny question. Maybe you did not have courage to ask, but at any point of time you get some queries. If you feel Naveen can help me to understand it better, I am just a messenger. You can connect with me in any of my social media platforms. My name is Naveen Manjunath. I am available as Naveen Manjunath everywhere. Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn. You can just message me there. If you have any queries and if you feel you need some help, don't start loading good night, good morning, or I did not understand this. Can you help? One-liner messages. I'll be happy to take those queries into figure. Thank you.
Please do make use of the very sweet gesture that sir has made. We'll break for lunch now. Students who have come from outside colleges, your lunch will be served outside the auditorium.
Crossing the threshold of
Paulites,
St.
you can
Paul's
go
College
to your
is
classes and
stepping
have your
into the
lunch, but
future.
all of you,
A
please
bright
be assembled
future
back
indeed.
here by 2 o'clock sharp.
Walk in,
Sorry,
not just for
1:50
learning,
sharp.
but for a holistic formation that happens in the serene setting of a college.
We have washrooms on the right
in a lush
side of the auditorium. Please don't go back all the way to the main
St. Paul's
campus.
College is one of the educational undertakings of the Society of St. Paul, an international religious
Volunteers,
institution that is
please
present
stay
in
back
32
with a couple of
countries across
students.
the globe.
Volunteers,
With
please
over
come to
100
the
years of
stage.
history.
We need to take a photo.
Here at St. Paul's, we aim at creating professionals for a better tomorrow, ensuring the holistic growth of every student.
Not many colleges can boast of such excellent infrastructure as St. Paul's College has. ICT-enabled classrooms, a well-equipped library, a state-of-the-art studio, a new and
Who are just at
exceptionally
the door,
spacious
please stay back
auditorium,
for 2 minutes for a photo.
modern labs,
Please come to the stage.
various sporting facilities,
Whoever is in the auditorium right now, please come to the stage for a photo. Just a minute.
rising to greater heights, creating professionals for a better tomorrow. St. Paul's College, Bengaluru.